Hello, welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. I'll make this quick. I am here to show you how to use Periscope Producer through OBS. I wasn't able to find any good tutorials on YouTube when I checked, so I figured I would make one of my own. You can check out my website at femyoga.com, where this channel is 100% viewer funded, and these are some of our supporters from the last 30 days. So thank you to them. Thank you to you for watching, subscribing, and liking this video, and let's get to work. So I'm going to share my window with you. It's going to look redundant. You're going to see a bunch of my windows kind of repeated inside of each other, but don't panic. I'm just trying to show you the name of the program that I'm using. So here at the top, you'll see OBS. And you want to make sure you have the most recent version of OBS installed. So if you already have it, make sure it's all up to date. And then go ahead, if you don't have it, you can just search in any internet browser, download OBS. Open Broadcaster software. Once you have that installed, it's pretty easy from this point forward. I'm going to come back on the screen for a moment. So you want to go into your Periscope settings. It's the same place that you go in to change your name, your picture, your bio, all of that. So when you go into your settings, you're going to see something called Periscope Producer. Let me just go back to show you how to get in here. So if you click your little icon here, this little person, that'll bring you into your background, kind of like where you can change everything. And then here you want to click Settings, and then from Settings, Periscope Producer right here under Advanced Sources. And then you'll see my stream key, which I will change right after this broadcast so that you can't stream to my channel for me. That's why you don't want to show your stream key to people. You don't want to share your stream key out, because then people can punch that stream key into their OBS and broadcast to your channel. Not really, but I mean, they would have to have your Periscope password as well, but don't risk it. Just if you accidentally show it like I just did, you just go ahead and you can create a new one. I'll show you how to create a new one. They actually usually have a bunch on here. You can see there's like a bunch of different ones. You'll just click create new source here, and it'll create you a new stream key and a new encoder. I promise you don't need to be technically inclined to be able to do this. It's really, really easy. What you want to do once you're in here, I'll just let you see it at this point, you're going to click suggested settings. And this is going to give you all of your suggested settings. Now, the ones you just saw on my screen for a second are not the ones that you're going to have unless you've already been approved for transcoding as a Periscope VIP. So if you're at that level, just go with whatever settings are on your screen. But when you're brand new, your settings are going to look like this. Now, Periscope Producer is not something you have to apply for. It's automatically already built into your settings. So here you'll see all of the suggested settings that Periscope suggests you to use. And I'll show you now how you set these up. So the first thing is bitrate. Now again, my settings are going to be different than what you have on your end because I have a higher level approval. I can use a little bit more bitrate and resolution and things like that on mine. So mine won't match what yours is going to be. So hopefully this is clear. You want it to match what is in your suggested settings in your Periscope Producer. So I can move this off to the side so you can see me while I talk to you a little bit, kind of. Okay, you still see that? All right, so now actually I'm going to go away because I need to show you how to set up your settings. So I'm going to show the screen again. Let me move this below, move this below. Okay, so if I click settings right here, and now if you have a Mac, it might look a little different. Things might be located a little bit differently placed, but it's almost exactly the same. I've been able to set up people with both PC and Mac, but I am using PC, and I have both Android and iPhone that I use with Periscope. I click settings. I really don't change anything here. This I just leave in its default positions. In stream, you're going to change your stream type to custom streaming server, and you're going to enter in the URL and the stream key that you saw in Periscope Producer. Then you'll go on to your output. Make sure that output mode is set to advanced. That is the most common problem I see people come to me with, is that their output mode does not say advanced. So once you have that set to advanced, you're going to make sure that your resolution matches what your recommended settings are. Mine's 720p, but yours will not be. Yours will be whatever we just saw there, 540. Here, let's check it. Let's check it. It's going to be 960 by 540. So this is your width and height. And that's what that means. That just means how many pixels. So 1280 by 720 means 720p, like if you have heard of resolution before, but you're looking for 960 by 540. So you'll set your rescale output to that. Here. This just stays in its default position. Your bit rate will be 800. Okay, so make sure this is 800 there. Mine's 950 because, like I said, I have a little bit more advanced settings. Keyframe interval should be set to 2. I do see sometimes people have this set to 3, so make sure it's set to 2. Click recording. I like to record all of my videos. This is up to you, but just make sure if you are recording them, you know where they're landing. You can pick what folder you want them to land in, and you can also make sure that it's an MP4 format, which I find to be the easiest to work with. And it does not default to that. The audio bit rate, you want this set to 64. I'm just quickly going to double check with our audio settings. So these were our video settings here. And we'll get to the frame rate. This is the maximum frames per second. FPS means frames per second, and that's 30. And then we did the keyframe, which was 2 seconds. We did the bit rate, which was 800, and we did our width and height. So now we're going to get into the audio settings. Yep. Let me scooch it. Scooch it, scooch it, scooch. Over here. Wonderful. So, 96. What do I have mine on? 64? Interesting. I'll go double check. And then this 44.1, it does on mine automatically default to that, but just to make sure, we will check out our display and go back into settings, output, audio. Interesting. So you could actually have this set to 96. I don't know why I have it set to 64. I couldn't tell you, but that's what I have it set to. So if 96 doesn't work for you, try 64 because it works just fine for me. What you're hearing me come through on right now is 64. Hopefully it sounds just fine. Then after you're done with your output, you can go down to audio, and this will automatically default to everything. I never really need to change anything in here. If you want to use some of this, push to talk, push to mute, feel free to try it out. This is how I have it set up, really basic. Video, again, you just want to make sure that your output scaled resolution matches that same width and height that we talked about. And then your frames per second value will be 30. Make sure this is 30. Sometimes it will default to 60. You want to make sure it's set to 30. And then after you have all of your settings set up, you're going to hit OK. And then the fun can begin. So from here, now you create your stream. I mean, that's all you need to go live. The only problem is that your OBS screen will be black. There won't be anything on it. You have to actually add in sources, which I'll show you how to do right now. Here on the bottom, you'll see sources, and you click this plus sign to add a new source. By clicking that, you'll see all of your different options. The only ones I really use are color source, which gives you a block of color. I'll show you on each one so you can get a feel for it. This block of color right here, that's just a color source. And in order to stretch it to fit the whole screen, you're going to right click on it and then, oops, hang on. There we go. Hover over transform and then click stretch to screen. I only use stretch to screen with the color blocks because then it allows me to make it rectangular rather than square. I can show you what I mean. I'll demonstrate that in a second. You can also do fit to screen or center to screen on any of this. And I'll just show you while I'm here. Edit transform is how you crop items. You can also change the way that they're positioned. So if I wanted to crop off a side of something, I would just put in however many pixels I want to crop off, like 500. And then you can also use the up and down arrows to change that, to see how many pixels exactly do you want to cut off. And you can do top, left, right, bottom, all of that. Or you can just go back to 0 and start over. Great. So I'll do a quick demonstration of that color block. So I'm clicking the plus sign and I'm adding color source. I'm just gonna take whatever it gives me, a white block. And now you'll see if I wanted to make that fit on my side, you see how it's, I don't know if it's exactly a square. I think it is a square. Looks like a square. It won't actually let me shrink it down just one way. It will only let me make it like this. But if I right click it, hover over transform, and hit stretch to screen like I just showed you, it'll cover the screen. And then from here, I can change it any up and down. It doesn't have to be square anymore. So that's a little trick, a little pro tip that I use there. And now I'll share my screen with you again. So after color source, we have display capture, which is exactly what I'm using to show you my screen here. It's just like taking a screenshot of your entire screen. Remember, they will see everything you do on the screen when you have display capture shown. So just make sure that you hide that if you're intending to go navigate somewhere you don't want them to see, like your email or your bank account or whatever it may be. If you want to hide something, you can just simply click this eyeball. See these eyeballs? See how some of them are hidden, some of them are not? If I click the eyeball, that source will be hidden, but I don't have to delete it. So you don't have to constantly be recropping and resizing things. You can just you can just hide any source that you don't want to be shown. If you do want to delete a source, you're going to click your minus arrow, and it will ask you, oh, wait, maybe not. It will ask you first, are you sure you wish to remove display capture? I'm going to say no because I still want you guys to be able to see my screen. Then you can use game capture if you're doing some gaming, and that will automatically default to capture any full screen application. An image is exactly what it sounds like. You can search your computer for any images. That's actually what I have set up for this. This is just an image that I had one of my friends. Shout out to Nick. I think he's on this list right there. Boom. He sent me this because he has the normal suggested settings for both audio and video. So I got him to send me some pictures, some screenshots. I saved them to my computer, and then I just linked to them right here. But it makes everything look a lot more professional. If you watch a lot of live streams, you'll see there's not a whole lot of people using technology in this way. And it makes it really easy to give a visual to assist with whatever you're talking about, like a tutorial. All right, so after image, you can also do an image slideshow where it will cycle through multiple images. I've used this before for when I want to show multiple different pieces of merchandise that I sell. You can use it for a lot of different reasons. I've used it for trivia shows before. There's some cool stuff you can do with that. If you're a photographer or an artist, you can use it to be constantly displaying and cycling through some of your previous work, like a digital, interactive, moving portfolio. You could have it right next to your head the whole time you broadcast. Oh, going the wrong way. Media source, I actually do use this for the intro and outro videos that I put in the beginning and end of my videos. So all I do for that, I'll show you actually by clicking it. I double click it, and then I just click OK, and it plays. Now you're not going to see it because I have display capture over the top of it, so let me take that down. And then if I double click my intro video and hit, actually I already showed you the intro. Well, yeah, whatever. So you can see that. Shout out to my graphic designer and video editor, James. His username on Periscope is Never. He's so awesome. And make sure that you check out my ebook. It'll be launching in January 2018, which is How to Make Money on Periscope. And I'll definitely recommend that you use his services or someone like him. So back to our display. We're, I think, at least halfway through now. A media source, basically what I just said, it's like a video. It's a way that you can show a short video, something that you have saved to your computer. Same way you would with an image. You just choose where the image is located. I don't really use scene. Oh, I skipped a lot of this. Like, I don't use this or this. I've never really used browser source. I haven't had any good success with it. I don't use the source scene. I actually don't even know what that does. I'm sure it's really cool. And then text is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a text box, just like you would have in like Microsoft Paint or something like that. And that's what I use for these words up here is its own text box. And then these words here are another text box. And you can always add in additional boxes. So for example, I'll just show you what I was using on my last live broadcast. This is the book that we're reading. This is where you can support the channel. And this is some advice from my mom, which says, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And what I could do is live here, I could just, you know, change whatever links I wanted to show. I mean, you can do everything live. Or if you want to, well, let me show you studio mode after I show you the sources so you don't get too overwhelmed with information here. So the text video capture device is probably the one that most people are going to want to use, and that's just going to engage your webcam. So you'll just click this video capture device and pick which webcam you want. I'm using a Logitech C920 for this video, and that's also what I'm using for the microphone. And you can also use your built-in webcam on your computer. A window capture I use a lot. That's what you're going to use if you want to grab like a web browser that you want to show someone. So for example, let me just pull up something that might be interesting. How about, I don't know, you guys are just wanting to get through this really quick, just to give you an idea. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. So if I unhide what I already have prepared, oh, we can probably go ahead and get rid of these words over my face, huh? Again, I'm just going to click the eyeball. I'm not going to remove the source. I'm going to click the eyeball. And for my window capture, my big reveal, boom! So this is my Spreadshirt shop where you can buy merch. Again, I'm not really trying to promote myself here, although I always promote myself. I'm just trying to give you an idea. You could show your website, your products, your services, whatever you like. I just had that open already, so I figured I would show you that. All right, so we're almost to the end. I actually don't even know what that is. So that's the end of the sources. And now what I want to show you, this is going to get even weirder. Let me look you in your eye as I say this. It's going to look weird. Don't get overwhelmed. Remember when we first started this, you thought it was really weird, all those screens inside the screens, but then you got comfortable. You saw that I was just trying to show you what I'm working on, hopefully. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My handle is FemYogaTaylor on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on the screen to demonstrate how easy it is. So open this up, move it on down here. Yeah, oops, too big. So reach out to me if you like with any questions. I'm happy to help. All right, so now we move on to studio mode. Don't panic. Do not panic. It's this button right here above the settings, studio mode. And what this is going to do is it's not going to look like this when you're doing it. This is only if you're doing an OBS tutorial will it look like this. But what this is going to do is you're going to see what the person is seeing here live, and then you're going to be able to change things here that don't go live immediately. Now, unfortunately, this is really hard to demonstrate when I have the display capture open, because the display capture is showing you everything I'm doing on my screen. So it might be a little unclear, but I'll just try to give you an example. So let's just add in a big color source to make it really big and obvious. Okay. You know, like that. Okay. Like I just want this big block of white. So you can see me doing this on this screen, but you can see that the block isn't actually here. So here, it's here, and here it is not. So if I wanted to then go live with that change, so the reason you might want to do this is you might want to put in some type of message. Let's say, hello world. And you can change your colors, your font, your size, all of that. But for now, just for the sake of honoring your time and energy as well as my own, say I wanted to put this on the screen, okay? But I wanted to adjust it, make it look all nice before I go live with it, and now I feel good, now I'm ready. So then I'm going to click transition, and then it will go live, okay? So what I'm going to do, just to make sure that's really nice and clear, is I'm going to take studio mode off, and I'm going to hide the display capture, okay? So now I'm going to do that without showing you to see, so you can get a feel for what it would look like to your audience. And this is going to be at the end of this tutorial. Almost. So if I do studio mode, I put my color source, I put my text, just pretend like I was going to be over here so it doesn't look totally ridiculous. Yay! Yeah! And then if I wanted to transition back, but I didn't want you to see me doing it live, I would just go like that. Yay! Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. I know I talk fast, I think fast, I move fast, I work fast. But hopefully you understood enough of this to get yourself live. And then when you're all ready with this, once your screen looks how you want it to look, you can, oh, let me quickly show you the filter, how you can get the words to scroll. If you right-click on the words, I'm sorry, right-click on the source that has the words that you want to scroll, you click Filters, Add Effect Filter, and click Scroll. So I'm not going to do that now since I already have it here, but you can change the speed. So I have it at 25. I could make it go really fast. I could make it reverse scroll the opposite direction. So whatever works. I'm going to go back to 25 here. Oh, whatever. 28. I'm good with 28. Okay, so that's how you get it to scroll, just like you see here. This is scrolling. And now it's scrolling at 28 instead of 25. Okay, bad humor. I get it. I get it. Now, when you're ready to go live, you're just going to click Start Streaming. And then you'll see that you're live. We've been live for 5 seconds now. I'm not live to Periscope. I'm only live, in OBS's world. So if you're broadcasting to a stream key on Twitch or something else, you'll have to still go live through that platform. So I'm gonna, I guess I can still stream. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna hide the screen so you can see how you go live to this from Periscope. So once you are all set up and you've clicked Start Streaming in OBS, you'll see that this changed now from what it used to say, which is checking for source that you couldn't click on. Now it says Preview Broadcast. Diagnostics are right here. If there's any errors, if you set up any of your settings wrong, Periscope will tell you right here. You just click Diagnostics and it'll tell you exactly what you have too high, too low, what seems funky, and you'll be able to diagnose it before you even go live. Then you'll click Preview Broadcast. And then from here, I recommend going live just to yourself first. Turn the volume down so there's no echo. So what you can do is go live to private, where it's just yourself. So all I did was click this and change it to private. I don't really want to show you guys every group that I'm in. And then just like you go live normally on Periscope, you'll put in your title and you'll click go live. Go live to private first, that way you can test it, you can watch it, the replay, make sure everything sounds good, looks good, everything's doing what you want it to do, maybe try clicking around, make sure it's not skipping and glitching or you're muted or whatever, you have to troubleshoot it. Then, once you feel good about that, then you can change your audience back to public, put in an awesome title, go live, and that's it. Voila! Let me check my list. Download OBS, settings, sources, start streaming, going live through your producer. That is everything. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial about how to go live on Periscope through Periscope Producer using OBS. I hope you find this useful, and if you found any value in the content, feel free to support the channel as a way to say thanks, or at least click the like button on this video, subscribe, and I hope to see you very soon. Until then, remember, you're worthy of being loved and feeling comfortable in your own skin. This has been a moment in time with Taylor. Thanks so much for watching.